Watch how I flip. Watch how I whip. I'm in the whip. I'm in the wrist. I never switch.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad beat pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere. Mexican, don't make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Put numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars.
Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Here we go. 8 read.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
218, jump.
on the delay. It's Mixon. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
While the Bengals struggled in 2018, running back Joe Mixon certainly did not. Over 1,100 yards running the ball, caught 43 passes. Expect both of those numbers to continue to climb in his years in the NFL.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch shoot.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You've got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Now Jackson on 1st down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. For Lamar Jackson, his first NFL start came against the Cincinnati Bengals November 18th in Baltimore of last year, and he threw for 150 yards, ran for 119 more as the Ravens won 24-21 to kick off what became a 6-1 final stretch that got him the AFC North title. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsay. 25 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsay. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, here we go.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
They'll look to throw here. Open man is Uzama. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Here's Lindsey, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On third down, here's Lindsey. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And that is going to be incomplete. Or it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
34 yards there and a 1st down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That good for 22 and a 1st down. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Jesse Bates, who led the Bengals in tackles as a rookie, there to make the stop. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay.
Offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still second down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Check the backer, check the backer.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
15-1. Touchdown, defense. Get it.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Let's go, boys. Bring it.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start with an NFC Championship game rematch from a couple of years ago. Philadelphia, this time traveling to Minnesota. And this, a 6-point differential as they've gone to halftime. Miles Sanders, a touchdown run in that first half. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. 31-10 was the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Gott.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 55 tonight. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Another run by Lindsey. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Lindsey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Got a man. It's Brown. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On first down, Lindsey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 33. They'll try the left side. Dobbins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Dobbins. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And some room to roam now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's got this down to the 35. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And we'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Any weapon. Defense. 6 guys. 6 guys. Check.
Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 42.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run on first down. Lindsey. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
At the Bengals' 35-yard line.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson, and a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. A pass there over the middle to start things out. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Jackson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Jackson to throw. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsay. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Throwing now is Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. This is caught. It's Brown. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team Throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
That's it, baby.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2.
Check 26.
A give running right, Lindsey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tied.
Watch that creep. Watch that creep. 90 Wolf. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Cincinnati, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on